part of the sculpting project to take old tools that nobody uses anymore and sculpt them into a AA symbol for recovery. I'm putting some, might as well test this while I'm at it, but this is some Harbor Freight. It's actually not Harbor Freight brand, it's Evapor Rust. Not cheap, but enough that we need some TLC. This one too. Let's see what happens. Phase 1. Quick update on the Evapor Rust from Harbor Freight. Just a quick look at this. I just dropped them in there. 24 hours. These things, how old are these things possibly? Old cutters. Look at the rust. It comes right off. Doesn't bother your hands at all. I wouldn't believe it if I saw it with my own eyes. These are, so what that looks like. I have a whole basket full of these for the sculpture. I drop the rusty ones in like that. That's what they come out like. Okay, well, Matt's brought by some soft-drawn copper. As you can see, I've made a compass out of this. And I've got the radius, rough radius drawn. And I'm going to lay out this circle, the outer circle of the AA symbol. So that's where I'm at right now. Pre-drilling holes in it so I can put screws in it. So I'm using up the last of my billion-size pack of cable ties, 650. I think I've taken like 15 years to get rid of them, but I'm going to tie these all down, pull it in, and that way it'll give me some. I can weld it together or braze it together there without it losing its shape. Ended up cutting a bunch of these wires. These are useless. They keep breaking. They're too old. So that's the end of them. And so I'm just attaching now with the wires. By the way, I got a good tip for you. If you ever want to find your specialty tools real fast, whatever you do, don't go to your Harley-Davidson box and look, because I don't have the organizational skills quite that my wife does. But whenever, don't let her know that I go to her box. Look at this. Is this crazy? I use them and I make sure I put them back so I don't get in trouble. But whenever I need something, I absolutely need it bad, I come here. Mine's not too bad. Actually, this is the reason that inspired me to make this sculpture, right? Because I got wrenches like this, and I'm like, what am I going to do with this thing? So, this is what inspired the sculpture, so I could get my box. I guess apparently, this is a sculpture about getting my toolbox straightened out, more so than anything else. I need to actually cut this copper tubing here, and I couldn't find my larger copper tubing cutter. It's at the storage unit, so I pulled out one of the ones someone donated for the actual project, and now I'm taking it apart to clean it up because I got to get this wheel cleaned up because it's not turning. So I'll end up using this. Probably end up not putting this in the sculpture because now I'm fond of it. All right, well, I took the wheel out, tried to put an edge on it. It's horrible, but I used this grinding stone, and I'm going to see if I can cut this piece of copper with it right now. All right, this is just a test to see if this thing will cut the copper. Voila! All right, so we might not be throwing that one away. I don't know. This is why this whole project exists, is because I can't stand giving any tools away. All right, let's make the cut. Probably something like this for me. I might need it once a millennium. Okay, so that's should be pretty close to where we need it. And the line is too hot. Okay, get this cupping. The cupping is on here. Okay, I can braze these two together now. Heck, it's the stuff. I don't even know that I need to braze it, but I will. Woo! Oh yeah, daddy. Ooh, who that be over there with that coupling over there down there? Okay, just getting started. This isn't even close. I have to get the diameters correct, but I'm just trying to figure out how we will put all these tools on here. These are the tools that need to be used to get clean and sober and be free of addiction. So that's where we're going. We're trying to convince young people to use the tools of AA and NA. Looking for ideas, just found these at Lowe's, copper pipe hooks. I think they'll work perfect. Just picked up 2 more sticks of copper. Getting expensive. Just ran some experiments to see how well soft solder instead of brazing would hold. And I used some soft solder here, just spotting it, which it's totally not designed to do. And it's really designed to run inside the joints. But I wanted to see how strong it would be if I did it just with soft solder, because I could do things at a lower temperature then. So being that this is going to be partially structural, that piece, because they're going to go like this, looks like I can soft solder the whole thing, which I'll probably do. I did discover, I threw out 2 rolls of old soft solder because they were dirty, and I'm just using this. Whatever, this is just a test roll right now. I'll pick up a new roll. But this is the soft solder that I'm using right now. I just rigged up this compass, red pencil, 2 paint sticks, foil tape, and center screw. I couldn't use the ruler because it would have to go under these screws here. So I'm just going to basically make my circle using this. 1 complete red circle. Okay, all the screws are in at this point. Ready to put the copper on. Okay, circle's getting in place. Okay, I put a couple of couplings in here, and I'm about to get the torch going. Finally, new regulator, a little bit of riffraff, cleaned up the nozzle. Okay, I'm going to braze up these fittings just so they're permanent. I don't want to soft solder them like I did before. I'm going to hard solder them. Doing this kind of stuff, you don't need this white powder here. You don't absolutely need it. Just like you do with this. You can bend this rod like this. Okay. Just let me get around the back of the fitting, even if I can't see it. I can feel it. I'm going to do this one next now. It's near the wood, so I'm putting the heat sink behind it. Starting to get some of the cross pieces brazed on. These are actually pretty solid now. The brazing's going good. It's a little bit difficult because it's a very thin piece of wire. I'll clean these up with a wire brush, but it's a little thin piece of wire. But this is what will tie the thing together. Yeah, I got this finish up around here right now. But we're getting there. Okay, I'm starting to get the triangle set up. I'm going to have to grind down these corners so that I could braze them together. Okay, I've got this one done, brazed up. I'll still sand a little bit. And I've got this one done. How to use the cutting tip because my acetylene rig's not working well. This is the gap that I've been filling. I'm going to do this one next. But this is the size of the gap I'm filling with the solder. It's huge. Shouldn't even be doing it, but I'm doing it. So that's the one I'm doing next. Alright. Well, it ain't pretty yet, but I'll clean it up. It'll get all nice. Okay, I've got the first of the copper windings, and then I'm going to solder that, and that will be soldered not necessarily to the metal here, but it'll be soldered down in here. This is an old pair of bolt cutters. That's at the apex. I'm actually just going to use not even a MAP gas. I'm going to use propane. Lower temperature, more control. Okay, I got the wire. This is the support wire, and then some solder just to hold it together. But I like the idea of the silver solder in this. Then I'll start laying in the tools here. Okay, started soldering in. Still got to be cleaned up, but it's soft solder with some silver content in it. And I'm just soldering them on to make them permanent. I want it to last, and I definitely don't want this to come apart in the next 50 years. So I'm going to solder everything on. This one is what's going on next. I'll just work my way around. More and more tools added. These two tools are brazed right here. They're brazed together. I found this copper wire. I liked it. It's kind of braided. So I drilled all these holes inside here, and basically what I'm doing is putting these in like this. Oops, wrong hole. Watch what you're doing, boy. Put them in like this. You get the idea. And I've already soldered a few in. I'll fill those holes in. Now I'll weld them in along with this mesh. Just got these welded in, or soldered in, excuse me. Soft soldered, even. Not even brazed. Getting there. Okay, real quick, adding leaves onto it. I'm putting these leaves onto the vines. So it looks like vines with leaves coming on right now. And I'm making those leaves out of this soft drawn 7/8 copper, 7/8 refrigeration, 3/4 plumbing. And then splitting it on both sides and then hammering it down on the anvil and just bashing it out and then making the striations and stuff in it. It's not hard, it just takes time. Testing the lights. About 1,000 settings here.